What up, world? My name is Nicholas Coriano. Today, I am going to share with you guys the food truck financial projections template and exactly how to go about filling it out. So we're going to do this in sections. This is the financial projections template that I have available for sale on servitude.com. I'm going to go through this simply. This ends up being projected out automatically from this and the rest of the tabs down here. So I'm going to go through it one at a time. This is the summary. These are your revenue projections. The summary you do not have to fill out. The revenue projections you do have to fill out. This is the startup costs. You have to fill this out. I'm going to go through this one by one. These are the employees. You can fill this out. And these are the revenue projections. You don't really have to fill this out. This is automatically generated. This is year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, year 5, and then the graphs and data get spit out automatically as well. So if you're writing a business plan for a food truck or a food trailer, these are the financial projections. In another video, I'll show you my template for the business plan. When you download this in the link below, it'll give you everything. So it's not just going to give you this, it'll give you also a couple templates for business plans. So let's get to it. So the first thing you want to talk about is your startup cost. So if you're down here, you're going to click the tab for startup cost, and you want the simple basic stuff, right? Your food trailer and equipment, depending on how much you're going to buy that, you're going to put that here, and you can change this. So I made a copy of this so you can change it, and you see how the graph changes. So let's say it's a $25,000 food truck. The cool thing about food trucks and food trailers is you can really start really cheap, so you don't even need a food trailer, to be honest with you. You can start as a catering business. But let's say, the trailer, you found the trailer for $7,500. Okay, so that's the trailer. And let's say the initial inventory is $1,500. Perfect. So marketing, marketing is really the food trailer business. So I've written over 1,000 business plans, went to business school, went to law school. I also have my own businesses. So when I consult you guys, it's not the scars on my back is what I'm giving you guys advice on, not just, something I read in a book. Your marketing dollars, the really only thing you should be doing with marketing is either wrapping the trailer so it has big signage. And then most of your marketing will come from putting the trailer in the right location. So make sure that you're in the right location, or the food truck. Licenses and legal. And then we just leave an open space here for working capital. And this will spit out the graph. You can always put this in the business plan. So this is pretty simple and straightforward. So then after the startup costs, there's only 3 really tabs here to fill out. After that, everything else is self-generated. Now we go on to the revenue projections. When you're starting, you don't want to get too complicated. So one of the things I advise most of my food truck or food trailer business plans is have a limited menu. The more items on your menu, that means the more things you have to go grocery shop for, and the more things that can actually spoil when you're running the show. So try to keep it limited and have what they call an average ticket price. So most restaurants, when they're marketing themselves, have an average ticket price. And basically what they're saying with the average ticket price is, hey, look, our average sale is going to be $15, $20. So you can put that here. So we put $15, but let's say it's $11. Okay, that'll change everything here, right? As you saw. So if you put $50, you'll see how it changes, right? But let's keep it at $15. Well, let's change it for you guys so you guys can see how it works. $14 year 1. Let's say year 2, you figure something out, it's $15, and it's $16, and they keep going up. Maybe you got a better location. Okay, average sale. And then these are the total amount of sales you made per year. So this is 1,000 sales means, out of 365 days, you made 3 sales a day if you're working every day, but you're not assuming you're working every day. So, keep it reasonable, because you're not going to work a lot of the days. Let's say you work 200 days, right? You want some kind of formula here that in your mind you've justified, okay, I'm going to make 10 sales a day times 100 days, right? That's 1,000 sales. I'm only going to work 100 days. So we'll keep that there. And then over here is a growth rate. So this is going to give you years 2, 3, 4, and 5. So really all you need is year 1. I try to make this as simple as possible so you guys can kind of forecast what you guys are going to make. Okay, and then on this line, so these are the food truck sales. As you can see, it's pretty simple and straightforward. The next line is online sales. So the world is going online. If you haven't noticed, you're probably watching this video online. And if you are focused enough to create a brand of your food trailer, eventually you'll be able to retain those customers and sell online. So one of the things I tell my clients is retain, no matter what business you're in, but even the food truck business, if you can start an email list, if you can get them to follow you on Instagram or Facebook, you might be able to later sell them that taco sauce or that spaghetti sauce or that special sauce that you put on your hamburgers or hot dogs or the chili that you make, right? So these just account for online sales, very similar to up here. You just put in a number for how many online sales, so let's call it 250. And then the growth rate stays the same over here. And then your average ticket price. So let's call it $9 online, right? Now make sure when you're pricing online, and you can change these per year. So the average, growth rate will tell you how much the sales grow, but the actual dollar price you can change every year for inflation or for cost. And this will give you the total. Okay, so that's pretty straightforward for the revenue. This will automatically generate these numbers here. Employees, this is a pretty simple one. It's just one cook, right? And you can tell me exactly how much you want to make per year. So the only thing you have to fill out here is the name, the number, and then how much they want to make a year. So let's say the cook wants to make $54,000 a year. You saw how it changes it to monthly, bi-weekly, and weekly. It also changes it up here. If you wanted to add another cook number 2, it'll fill this out. I don't know if you saw that, but it automatically generated right down here and over here. And all you have to do is put 1 over here, and it'll automatically show you the total employee count. So this could be if you have more than one, you can have an assistant, a part-time cook, whatever it is. And over here you put cook 2's wage, right? And then you just drag this out like that. Oh, sorry. Here you're gonna highlight these and you're gonna drag this down, right? And you'll see you can drag this all the way down. It'll fill out the formulas for you, right? So let's say you have another cook over here, cook number 3, right? You see how it popped up over here. And if I put 25, it'll fill it out, right? That just gives you an employee count. Okay, so why is that important? Because here, as you see, so now we're in the red. We're in the red here because we have a bunch of employees. And if you can see, this employee number is pretty high, 9,000 a month, right, for a food trailer. So this automatically generates from this tab over here. So if we go over here, I don't know if you noticed, but the monthly number is 9,000, but let's get rid of our cooks. Okay, so we're gonna delete this cook, we're gonna delete this cook, delete. And you notice that the totals on the numbers came off over here. If you rewind the video, you'll see that there's no more, there's only 54,000, which means if we go to year 1, you notice that the price went down and we are now profitable. We're not in the red anymore, okay? So let me show you guys how to read this really quick, and then I'll show you guys how to put in the expenses down here. And you guys will pretty much be all set with the food truck financial projections. So let's say you have a starting budget, you put the starting budget here, okay? So this starting budget would be, call it 30,000 here, call it 25,000. Oh, that's 250,000. Let's be more realistic, call it 7,000. Holy moly, see? So this is what happens when you put in 7,000 here. You may not have enough to get through your initial month here, right? Because your initial month down here is showing an expense, a startup expense, right? So this startup expense was 25,000. If we go over here, right, this number here, or what all this adds up to, ends up over here on this startup expense right here. So you want to make sure that this number up here is obviously higher than the money you're using to start, right? So let's say you started with 25,000, right? You're still in the red. Why? Why are you still in the red? Well, this accounted for some other things: insurance, generator, fuel, water, things that you didn't really need before you started, but now that you started, you kind of need. So just make sure that this is higher, right? So call it 35. And remember, this changes based on your business price. So if your prices are lower, this number will be lower. So I made this really simple here. This is based on a percentage. So miscellaneous expenses every month, you can change this to 1%, 2%, 3% of your revenue. Okay. So if, you know, here we're showing revenue of 16,250. And remember, that came off of this bottom tab over here, revenue projections. And you can change this percentage number and it will change. You see that? It'll change how much it is. So you're going to estimate percentages on this stuff: miscellaneous expenses, inventory. Inventory is about 50% on food, generator, fuel, water, utilities. Remember, fuel is going to be less if you're not driving around a lot or if you're parked stationary. Maintenance and repairs, again, a percentage. It automatically generates all these numbers. Marketing, 8%. Again, this number could be lower if you have great signage and a great location. And then insurance, this number should be way lower. And then if you want, you can fill something in. So item 3, call it item 4, right? And then you can actually put in numbers here and it will do the math here. Okay, it will do the math. So let me just back up here. 1, 2, 3. I'll get rid of this. Okay. So the way you read this is $35,000 minus what you had a minus is 33. You come back up to the top. That's what you have at the beginning of the month. You make 16,000 in revenue. You now have 49,000. You subtract all of this plus your startup cost, it equals 40,000. And you subtract that and you're down to 8,999. 99999. Okay. You go back up to the top and you start the next month with 8,999. Add the revenue, 16,000. You got 25,249. Subtract your expenses, which equal 15,750, and you have 9,499. Okay. Now you go back up to the top and you do it over again. You just keep going. Okay. So this is the financial projection template. Really, what it's good for is to give you a good basis idea of you know, how it's going to play out. You know, if you start lowering this number, let's call this 30,000. You start realizing, okay, I'm still good. I could start with 30,000. How about 25,000? Oh man, I'm going to hit a little snafu in the second month, third month. I might want to have at least 27,000. Okay, now I'm in the green. Okay, so really what it does is it helps you kind of game plan things out. You know, it gives you, at least on the revenue projection side, it gives you a benchmark on how many sales you have to hit for the year. And it shows you, you know, exactly what your potential could be, right? So this template is downloadable. I have it for sale on servitude.com. I'm going to put a link in the comments section below. This last section here just spits out, you know, all your summaries. So how much your labor expenses are going to be in year 1, your miscellaneous expenses, your inventory expenses, your generator, all your expenses that we talked about. Let's go back here. All these expenses here end up over here, and I summarized it for you. The same thing with revenue. And then, you know, you minus those things and you see how much you made that year. And this is just as a percentage, right? It shows them to you as a percentage. And then the graphs and data just, you know, explain exactly, like here you see, oh shoot, we didn't make a profit in the first year. Well, you had a big startup expense. So that could be it, right? And then in the second year, oh man, we only made 7,000. Now remember that this is after you paid your employee, which is probably yourself, right? So you might have pocketed, what did we pay the employee here? 54,000. So if you're the only employee, you pocketed 54,000. And then there's an extra 7,000 that the business made. In the first year, it's, you know, negative 20,000 because you probably put in cash or you took out a loan or something. So just keep that in mind. This is just a summary of everything. If you want this template downloaded, click the link below. I'll shoot you right there. And when it downloads, it should download a couple of business plans for you guys too. And that's it. You know, I'm going to delete these rows so it looks a little cleaner here. And this shows you the profit margin percentage. So I hope this was helpful. Like I said, I went to business school, went to law school. I've written over 1,000 business plans. I want to start sharing these things with you guys because they've been so helpful to me, and hopefully they're helpful for you. So that is the food trailer, food truck financial projections template. I hope you guys are wonderful. I hope you guys are great. If you guys are starting a business, remember, never give up. Keep working on it, and I'm sure you'll succeed. Have a great one, guys.